Okay, everyone, thank you for watching Infinite Realms. Today on Tales from the Longbox, we've got Sabertooth Classics number 2, which reprints Power Man and Iron Fist number 78. In case anybody doesn't remember this, it's when Sabertooth really picked up. And so they went, and I mean, his first appearances, first like 10 appearances, went for insane amounts of money, and they might still. I think I have the one he did in Spectacular Spider-Man somewhere. But anyway, they went through this mini-series and reprinted some of the classic tales. This is long before they had things like, you know, digital comics and stuff like that. So, yeah, it was like, because Sabertooth was a throwaway character. He was nobody. He was just sort of he was a clone Wolverine, in character form. But he was a throwaway character. He was nobody, and it wasn't until Chris Claremont put him together with Wolverine that his popularity began to climb, and it climbed really high. But anyway, always happy to see a reprint of the original Power Man and Iron Fist comics, because those are some of my absolute favorite comics of all time. This is one of the first series I got really into. And I really enjoyed the exchanges between Power Man and Iron Fist. It was cool. The other one that I really loved was Shang-Chi Master of Kung Fu. Both of those comics really impacted me when I was a kid, and I love them now. Still love them to this day. See, look at Luke right there. Just pick up your biggest boy and I'm going to beat all you up with your biggest fighter. You got to love that kind of thought. And here we go, and oh, yeah. El Algra. The luchador of the 1970s. El Algra. I never did know how to pronounce his name. I don't speak Spanish either. I took Spanish in college and can say a couple of things. But yeah, boy, they need to make a Marvel Legends of that character. And hey, look, baseball cards. I think baseball cards still exist. It's just not in the same form. Yeah, different time though, man. Different time. I remember baseball cards had a resurgence in that era. Big resurgence, and there were actually some shops that would open up that were exclusively for baseball cards. It was pretty weird. I mean, I remember they didn't last long past, I think the last one I knew of was 95, and I still know of one place in a small flea market that does just mostly baseball cards. I did do some other card games, but cards like games and stuff, but no, mostly it's still baseball cards. There's still a market for it. I'm not aware of it. But I probably need to educate myself, because I got some baseball cards that I've had for a while, and I could probably sell them. I'm just saying. Oh, and there is Claire Temple. Yes, she existed in the comic before Rosario Dawson played her. And yeah, here we go with all the fun gang, the Power Man and Iron Fist gang, with Misty and all the others. And hooded guy. Who is the hooded guy? America's Funny. I'm again, Laffy Taffy. Man, that was some fun stuff. My wife loves that stuff. I mean, there's one store near me that sells it, and every time we go by there, she's like, buy me some Laffy Taffy. I'm like, yes, dear. And again, just some really, really cool. I mean, keeping in mind the limitations of the time, this is actually kind of cool. I mean, it's colored wrong, but it gets your attention. And there's no doubt in your brain what's going on. It's pretty interesting to see. And it gets a mood going. Again, art from this era. Because this was originally early 80s. And art from this era just astounds me because the backgrounds. I mean, look at them. Look at this little tiny panel and the background in it. All hand drawn. Like, wow. I mean, look at that window behind her. They didn't need to have it there. I mean, okay, yeah, they skip it in this panel, but what? Look at that. I mean, I don't think people really pay attention to backgrounds anymore in comics. I could be wrong. I just get that feeling from the panels I see. It's like, there's literally nothing going on there. And you see, look at the depth of field there. It's just, to me, that is so cool about comics from this era. Especially since they were hand-drawn. You know, they were not done, you know, I'm not sure if they are fully hand-drawn anymore. I lean towards no because it doesn't look like it. You know? But yeah, it's like people don't. I don't think people think about it. And again, not every panel right here. It's very clear. It's very dull background, but it's done enough to where you notice it. I mean, looky here. Look at that. Wow. I mean, you know, it makes for a living, breathing picture. All right, but yeah, and there's hey, Colleen, look at that, hey, Bubba. El Ugla, which I think stands for, I think means eagle, if I'm not mistaken. And a subtle little hint here, man, I'm so wrapped up in the backgrounds, I spotted something and meant to say something about it, but didn't say it when it happened, and now I'm gonna lose it. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, where Luke says, "Look, eagle." It doesn't even call him by his Aluga or whatever that. God, I could just look that up. In all these years I've read Marvel, I've never bothered to look that up. That tells you something there, doesn't it? Alright, and here we go with the action-packed Power Man and Iron Fist showdown. Dun dun dun. Blade? Okay, apologies. I had to stop for a minute, get a drink. My throat was extremely dry. And, because I'm doing these all at once, and still not quite recovered from my cold. The slasher. And the slasher goes after Misty. Here comes out shooting energy beams out of his sword. And the slasher, who could it be? Hey, wait a minute. He has claws. Oh, and he ripped Misty's cybernetic arm. Yeah, so you kind of get in the picture. It wasn't really, I don't. And there is Luke getting tickled by gunfire. And boom, 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 boom. And they fight, and they fight, and they fight. And they fight, and they fight, and they fight. And they fight, and it's like, what's going on? So So you might be asking yourself, this is Sabertooth Classic. Where's Sabertooth? Sabertooth's the dude with the mask and claws. This dude right here. And that's how minor Sabertooth was. He was hiding out as a slasher. That was his whole deal. And I think it got revealed in this. No, that's the original. I don't remember when it got revealed. I remember it being revealed. I just don't remember when. It was 79 or 80 maybe. I don't know. But yeah, the slasher, that was Sabertooth. So, yeah. People are like, wait, what? I remember this one because when this Sabertooth Classics came out, and I was like, oh yeah, Sabertooth was a slasher. That's right. So you needed this one to understand the next one when he gets revealed. And this kind of almost killed this whole mini-series because people were like, there's no Sabertooth in that. And it's like, yes, there is. It's just, yeah. Couple of things, though. Let me go back to some specific pages. So, yeah, and so, yeah, when you look at this, Misty and the slasher, yeah, he's bigger than her, but he's not huge. Not at all. And, you know, people talk about, you know, wanting that Jim Lee huge-ass damn Sabertooth action figure. And I'm always like, man, Sabertooth wasn't huge. I mean, he was bigger than Cyclops, and he was bigger than Wolverine. But Wolverine was like 5'5", man. I mean, he was a tiny dude. You know, maybe 5'2", 5'4", something like that. He was always supposed to be a tiny dude. And then they just, when Hugh Jackman played him in the Wolverine movies, they just like, oh, well, he suddenly grew to 6'2". Okay. Beavis and Butthead. Love that shit. But, you know, yeah, while he was like, in case you're wondering, that was the Monkey King, who's going to go up on a shelf soon. I just hadn't put him up yet. You know, look for, you know, that review's probably posted by now. But, yeah. That's my point, though, is that, you know, he wasn't a huge guy originally. And that's the Sabertooth I'm used to. You know, Jim Lee, for whatever reason, decided to make him the size of a house. And that never worked for me. I was like, wow, what's wrong here? So, you know, again, it's like, I mean, I'm trying to think of a character that might fit his size. You know, like I said, bigger than Cyclops, but not like Colossus size, like people want to make him out to be. But then again, it's like, it seems like all the characters, they made him bigger. Venom, for crying out loud. Jeez, he was like, you know, a beefier than Spider-Man originally, and now he's like the size of a house. It's like, what the hell? But anyway, this is really enjoyable if you take it in context of what it is. You know, this is a good Power Man and Iron Fist reprint, man. That's all I'm looking at it as. It's a Sabertooth appearance, but you know, not a lot of people realize where Sabertooth was and all that. But, you know, it's fun. It's a good comic. I give it praise. Let me see. The print date was 1994, so yeah, pretty much the heyday of, you know, the big comic book boom, when they would just reprint the shit out of everything. But I like it. Okay, I'll wrap up this episode of From the Longbox. Have a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe.